Hey, what's going on, guys? Today I'm going to be talking about the final few mods I'm going to be doing to this car and why I finally pulled the trigger on one thing in particular that I was kind of holding off, or maybe saying isn't going to be the best worth my time, worth my money, specifically because this part isn't cheap. But talking with my tuner, he says if you do it this way, you will guarantee to make power, and if you leave your current one on, there will be a restriction. So without further ado, let's actually get into more detail than just being very vague. So, exactly what I'm talking about here is my throttle body. So, I know a video about 2 months ago I talked about actually changing my throttle body, and I kind of was like, you know what? I'm not going to do it. That's a lot of money. So, contacting my tuner, Ben from BW Tuned, used to be the tuner at GPI. I contacted him. I'm like, hey, I need help. And he was like, so the only way that it will actually make power is if you run a 45-degree coupler off the throttle body right to the velocity stack that I have. So it'll be forward facing and everything like that. So my big plan is I'm just going to run the coupler I have just like that, straight forward, and with the velocity stack off of it that I have, that I ran on that current intake. I'll show you guys here. And instead of the velocity stack just being right here take off the filter and you stick this here, I was like, you know what? If I'm actually trying to run a number, I need it to be the most efficient style intake that is possible, and without spending big money on a true OTR that might benefit me a little bit more. I was like, you know what? Silicone coupler, take the hood off when I go racing, and try and make moves that way. So I think that actually would be the biggest benefit for me. And I asked him, I'm like, hey, if I run this exact setup with the 103, would there be a restriction? He said, yes, definitely. So what I'm shooting for here is, right now I'm seeing like 96, 98 kPa. So there's still, room to see more. And I'm like, I want to see over 100 because I think that would be really cool. Especially because that's kind of directly related to power. The more air in the manifold, obviously the more power there is going to be. So speaking of that, I found a throttle body for $700. Purchased it. It should be here tomorrow, which will be the Saturday upload. So thankfully it's not going to be too long and I'm just talking again. So you'll see the bigger throttle body get installed, the adapter being installed, and the mouth on the high ram being dremeled out or bored out to have that smooth transition from the 112 into this high ram, which that'll be a little bit fun to do. It's going to be pretty tight from what I know. But yeah, so we're going to have that video. I just wanted to kind of talk about why I'm doing it and what I hope to see in this video, so when the other parts come in, I can just get straight to work. So biggest thing is a big kPa jump. Another thing is just a way more efficient intake. And the funny thing is, I actually have that be a 4.5-inch coupler, and it just kind of it fits on there, but it does kind of mushroom out just barely. I don't even know if you guys can see that, but I had no issues with it. Definitely worked for actually what I needed it to. But that should fit perfectly on the 112, and so should this. This is a 5-inch to 4.5-inch reducer coupling at a 45-degree angle, which I'm going to try and mock up here just so you guys can get the idea. As you guys saw in a previous video, I added the 2-inch headers and the full 3-inch exhaust from Speed Engineering, plus an eBay 3-inch axle back. So with the added exhaust flow, the only proper way to do things is to add intake flow, which is exactly what I'm doing now. And I'm just saying that this car is going to make a big boom next year when I finally take it to the track, which is what I'm most excited about. But without further ado, let me just show you guys my mock-up and what I plan on doing. And I also do believe to keep my mass airflow sensor, not that it's tuned with MAF, but just to keep the intake air temps, I'm probably just going to cut a hole in this and get one of these nice little adapters I got from Amazon. So obviously this is with the 103, but the 112 is actually going to be the final product. Yeah, that's actually what the bell mouth looks like right on the end of that new silicone coupler I got. I'll leave the link to this coupler in the description if you guys want to do the same thing with the 112. I'm definitely still going to be using that filter for street driving, but you know, just when it comes to the drag racing part of things, I'm going to make sure I can turn it up a little bit this year. So yeah, as you guys see, it's kind of loose there, which will fit just about perfect on the 112. So I'm happy about that, that's for sure. Might be a little snug even, which I'm definitely okay with. Man, now I look important, don't I? Man, I look like I'm swinging for something, don't I? Holy crap. That looks amazing, actually. Wow. Obviously, I won't be able to shut my hood now. But that definitely looks like something I was definitely going for there. Obviously, now I'm going to be racing without the hood, but I've kind of came to that compromise already. Race like that, right? No. But I thought, you know, if I'm really trying to go for something, take the hood off and, you know, 4 nuts and the strut. But yeah, I think that right there actually looks insane. Makes my car look a lot faster than it actually is now. That's kind of nice. So obviously, after going over this, some of the downsides I have heard is the tip-in for the throttle for a 112 is a little worse than the 103, which that might bother me for the first little bit, but I definitely think I'll get used to it. There's not very many things that I don't just get used to, especially when it comes to this car. If it's a huge difference, I'll definitely like make a comment about it or maybe make its own little video about, you know, I went to a 112 throttle body, here's what went wrong or something like that. But I really don't think that I'll actually see anything wrong. Biggest thing is I'm still going to be using that filter I showed you guys at the beginning of the video for street driving, street pulls, everything like that. This is track oriented only, obviously. So, yeah, really, it actually looks wonderful, like I said earlier. But biggest thing is I think the throttle body might have a little bit of a downside, but if that's the way I get way more KPA and that extra little pull up top to get a little bit better mile an hour, which will eventually equal ET, I think that'll be worth it. So in Saturday's video, hopefully you guys will see the throttle body adapter, and obviously I have the coupler here. We'll be racing here in about 2 months. Hopefully I can get the car out in about a month. One of the first things I'm going to have to do is finally give it a post-winter hibernation cleaning, which will be nice. But yeah, I think that'll be it for this video, guys. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. The meat and potatoes of this whole intake debacle will be Saturday when I actually have the throttle body and the adapter, like I said. But I hope you guys still enjoyed this video. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you guys enjoyed. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.